good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family, and welcome back to another daily Casper crypto live stream. And believe it or not, this is still going according to plan. You've been in these streams most likely for the past, well, hopefully months now, almost a year now. We're approaching almost a year mark actually. But we have been talking about the possibility of seeing a correction in crypto over the next, well, around now for the last couple of weeks or so. And while truth be told, the correction's not looking too disastrous right now, which is quite interesting. It's quite interesting because we've received two critical pieces of information today. One which is a bit of a bullish and bearish news, if you will, bit misunderstood, I guess. And the other one is very bearish news, or very negative news. Of course, I'm sure you all are aware of the Coinbase hack, the cyber attack that just took place. So we'll get into all of that in a moment. Right now we can see Casper is currently down to 11.88 cents, down roughly 1.17% on the daily time frame. Is not doing too badly. Bitcoin's now on 103k, and equally not moved that. I mean, it has moved down a bit and seen a pullback. Again, we'll have to see how the market and behavior develops more so. I'm still under the impression we could potentially see a 100k Bitcoin still. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But I mean, right now this is still going according to plan, right? Still going according to plan. We're seeing a small pullback, but for the most part, look at this here. This is a massive wick, so a lot of people selling, and it's already back to almost where it started off the opening market, which showcases there are a lot of buyers here who are willing to pump the price back to where it should be for Casper. So we are still in a very strong spot. We have a lot of sources to cover in today's stream. A lot of sources to cover regarding the most important part, of course, being the cyber attack from Coinbase. Also, which is very, very interesting, which I'm going to showcase as well, is one of my institutional documents that I do on occasion show on these streams, that I do showcase to the VIPs who are part of the community here. I'm going to showcase one more of them as well today. This one comes from the INATBA, which is interesting because we know at one point they did consider Casper as one of the most innovative blockchain solutions of 2025, and what they discussed there for me perfectly correlates to, again, the embodiment of what Casper is and why Casper is the fix for everything that is wrong with this space with regard to centralization. But as always, if you enjoy this content, you're doing it every single day, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more, because we are early and we are fortunate, and I am still with the utmost confidence that while we are now at the 15th of May, smack bang in the middle, we are about to soon enough, may see a pullback still, but still soon enough see a rally upwards as well. But welcome back everyone again to the channel, to the stream. Crypto goes through further, man. Welcome back, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Mr. Mars, you're second. You're not getting away with that today, my man. A collective illusion. Well, we can agree to disagree. Welcome back, Mr. Mars, man. Hope you're doing very, very well. I'm surprised you already broke out the basement. You know what I mean? You got out very quickly. Very, very quickly. You haven't. Jay opens up the vault and allows Wi-Fi in for a few hours a day during his stream windows. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. More innovative ways to make me seem like a bad guy. I get it. I agree, sure. Welcome back, Buffalo, man. Hope you're doing very, very well. I'm new to my man. Yo to you too. What's up, Nade Hot, brother? Drama, cyber attack, sign me the F up. Yes. It has been a very, very crazy day today, truth be told. And what I am very surprised about is the fact that we are not, we saw a liquidation, of course, but the markets have already recovered. So again, a lot of fun at the time, but they've already, calmed down and started thinking more logically than emotionally. So again, good stuff all around. What's up, Greg, bro? Hope you're doing very, very well. Casper back in the top 50, 46, ICP at the 48. Jerry Banfield is not pleased. We can see right now, yes, Casper, well, according to CoinMarketCap right here, Casper is at number 36. So maybe you meant the 30s, not the 40s, if I quickly scroll down and check. Yeah, you meant the 30s, not the 40s. But either way, yeah, Casper's at 36, ICP is at 37, and Casper has about 100 billion, actually $200 billion market cap ahead. No, not billion, sorry, million, sorry. 200 million market cap ahead of ICP right now. Of course, if I'm being quite frank, you may see Casper and ICP kind of battle it out for a little bit longer, you know, as their markups are very, very similar. But with what's coming up for Casper, it's about to jump leap and bounce and start flipping a lot of these projects very, very soon, in my belief. But yeah, I mean, Jerry Banfield, he's an ICP maxi, evidently. And he doesn't like Casper. He doesn't like many projects. I used to watch him a while back, and I did like his content, but he became, as most tend to do, very asphyxiated on a certain project, which is, you know, I mean, technically speaking, we're all very asphyxiated on Casper. But when you come to completely discredit every other project, like even me now, you know, people tell me, you know, proof of stakes are trash, and I do see the argument in that, and I do to an extent agree, but I do also see the value in holding assets like XRP, and holding assets like Sui, Sei, Tau. You know, I still hold them. I still see them as a potential good investment. Do I see longevity in them? Do I think they're trustworthy? No. Not really. Not as much as Casper, that's for sure. But I do still see value in them. That's why I hold them. But Casper, I think, will do very, very well. And then again, regarding ICP in particular, the one reason I've not looked too much into ICP, as I mentioned time and time again, but the one conclusive reason why I will confidently say never invest in ICP is because it has infinite max supply. And we've already seen two scenarios with Mantra and Terra Luna, both which were at the top of their field. Luna was a, you know, top 5, top 10 asset. Mantra was the top #1 real world asset. And both of them went to quote unquote zero. They collapsed, they rug pulled. 90% down in a few hours. And for me, the baseline reason for why is because they have infinite supply. They, like, for me, that is an immediate red flag. If I see any project that has an infinite max supply, I immediately stay away. That's me personally. Again, it's up to you to do your own research and trade your discretion, but I personally choose to not trust ICP. I mean, that already, ICP is down massive from its launch anyways. Now, will it do well this cycle? I don't know. Apparently, it's got AI functions. Apparently, it's got some form of AI functions, so that could be good. That AI is now going to blow off very, very soon. But I don't choose to trust ICP personally. And maybe Jeremy Bamford will change his mind. I don't know. It doesn't bother me either way. He can do what he wants, right? That being said, before I get to more of the comments and welcoming back everybody to the stream once again, let's get into the content for today. We've got a lot of drama today. So to start off with, once more, it is regarding the elusive MEXC exchange. Casper Daily highlights here over 100 million Casper withdrawn from MEXC in May so far, which is a lot. Casper continues to see heavy exchange outflows, with more than 100 million Casper withdrawn from MEXC this month alone. This trend aligns with the broader pattern of exchange outflows amid Casper recent positive price action, suggesting growing long-term conviction among users. However, there's likely another factor at play: continued frustration with MEXC withdrawal practices, which have included long delays and inconsistent processing despite no reported network issues. We can look right now, if we look at the top addresses right now holding Casper, MEXC is actually up today, and this wallet has also done a test transaction. MEXC has seen another 17,800,000 Casper with inflows. And for me, the most likely reason as to why is, as we look here, it has, well, actually what we're seeing right now is a lot of fluctuation looking at it right now, which is maybe a cause for concern. If you look right now, again, I'm not looking on TradingView, and probably more accurate on TradingView right now, but looking right here, we can see MEXC, Gate, BitGet, Bybit all got around 11.82 cents. KuCoin, BitGet are in the 7s. So we're seeing a lot of difference in price across the exchanges right now. So we're seeing a lot of drama right now for Casper. Volume still above 124.5 million. But right now, it seems like there's a kind of fight to find out what the price of Casper should actually be right now. I'm sure this confusion will eventually fade, but we are seeing again, MEXC at one point did have a lot higher price action than any other exchange. So there's a possibility you saw people buy Casper on the other exchanges and then transfer it to MEXC to sell it at a bit of a profit because it was up, 10 odd or 0.10 cents, whatever it may be. So we're seeing that happening right now. But ultimately, yes, we are seeing a lot more outflows from MEXC. It's only got 954 million Casper. That's down from 1.1 billion or something like that. That was at a little bit while back. As we try and wait to see it load up here, yeah, it was around 1.06 billion. So we've seen a massive amount of outflows. So we'll see where it goes from MEXC from here. I don't think they're going to lose all of Casper. People are definitely losing faith in them. And we even see here, very interestingly, I haven't checked to see if it's still there. It is still there. Still there right now, which is very interesting to see right now. So we can see, looking at this post right now, CoinMarketCap, which just for reference again, those who don't know, Binance Exchange run and own CoinMarketCap. So technically speaking, it's Binance identifying this. CoinMarketCap has identified Casper, price, tanks, and then CoinMarketCap tags MEXC exchange factor directly on the chart at 6 a.m. So we are potentially therefore seeing CoinMarketCap, Binance Exchange acknowledging what we have known for months, that MEXC is purposely manipulating the price of Casper, sending it further and further down by making the price of Casper look higher, for the people therefore to buy and sell it to MEXC. That's why maybe we've seen a massive inflow to MEXC today. That's probably the reason for why. Of course, right now we're seeing loads of exchanges do similar things now. Even then though, MEXC is still the highest out of the lot, alongside Kraken actually. But it's very interesting to see. Very interesting to see that happening right now. Fake volumes, coordinated dumps, and now this. So it is interesting. We can see here MEXC faces scrutiny over suspicious Casper trading activity and potential market manipulation concerns. We've mentioned it recently as well. I believe it was Jordan, his name was, who went to the Blockchain Paris event, whatever it may be, and he spoke to MEXC officials. And they are perfectly aware of the concerns of the community. And they have addressed some of the concerns, but the less, prevalent concerns. The concerns about how long it's taking, the congestion element, which is not Casper's fault, and equally the manipulation of Casper, they have not been addressed at all. So, I mean, the exchange drama right now, fundamentally speaking, is just, if you're on an exchange to trade, that's, fine. I trade on exchanges. If you're trading, that's fine, because you've got to, right now, the platform for trading is on exchanges. I'm sure you'll see other ecosystems come out in the future. Like, I'm very much looking forward to maybe getting involved in trading on Casper, particularly in the future, when it gets more fleshed out with smart contracts and whatnot, and stablecoins. But right now, you use exchanges. Trading's fine. If I am personally to be holding a crypto, I don't see any reason why you'd hold it on a centralized exchange, or even any exchange for that matter. Why you have not got it in a cold storage for me is ridiculous. Ridiculous, because when you don't, these exchanges have the freedom to manipulate the price with your tokens you're holding. They also can afford to just kind of not let you take them out at times. There have been cases of that, and speaking of cases of that, we've got Coinbase, who have already proven themselves in the past to say that if they haven't got the liquidity and you want to take out, they will just lock you out. They won't let you take your funds out. And we've got here, in worse news from Coinbase, they just got attacked. Cyber attacked. Hacked today. The hackers got all of your info. Name, address, phone, and email. Masked social security. Only the last 4 digits, but it's still part of your social security number. They got your masked bank account numbers and some bank account identifiers. They got your government ID images, so driver license, passports, all that stuff as well. Account data, snapshots and transaction history, and limited corporate data, including documents, training material, and communications available to support agents. Of course, there was some stuff that was prevented, again, regarding, only the last 4 digits of social security and the masked account, so you didn't get all your information, but they basically got everything. They have, these hackers now, by logic, effectively have pretty much everything they need now to completely steal your identity, everything about you, break into your accounts, steal your capital. I have a Coinbase account, and I created one in the intention that one day I'll probably use it for something. I think I used it once or twice. I have not got anything on Coinbase. Haven't had it for a very long time. And I count myself very lucky, therefore. But that is a cause for concern. Why? Because Coinbase is deemed as the biggest and most trustworthy exchange in the world. Binance is the biggest, but Coinbase, because of regulatory compliance, they are deemed as the most trustworthy, and they're the ones who got hacked. They're the ones who just launched the S&P 500 dollar coin, and their exchange got hacked. That is terrible news. That is very disastrous. That's why we saw a pullback today. One of the reasons I saw a pullback today, although saying that again, we're seeing a recovery, which is surprising but also good to see. But that is terrible, terrible news. And as Casper Silver highlights here, exchanges were never the solution for cryptocurrencies. Exchanges are the problem with crypto. The whole point of crypto is no middleman. Crypto is meant to be at its foundation decentralized. That's what Bitcoin was, decentralized, is still decentralized. These other proof of stakes, again, I hold some of them because I do see the potential of making money for some of them, but I don't trust them because, again, this sort of stuff can still happen. It could still happen. It is not a solution. These centralized projects and exchanges, they are not solutions. Everything should be decentralized for you and you alone. Exchanges shouldn't be required to know your information, KYC. It shouldn't. I understand the necessity of KYC, AML to an extent because, again, it's to prevent bad actors like these people. But if they can get inside your system and steal it anyways, then what's the point? Be very careful signing up to a bunch of exchanges. I myself have failed in this task due to me having to first learn the hard way when I used to want to acquire any crypto under the sun. Always make sure to buy your crypto and send it off right away. Cold storage, be it Ledger, be it Tangent, be it Wonky. And that's when I'm now going to transition into one of my institutional documents that I share with my VIPs. Which, again, if you want to be a lot more tuned in to alpha information we covered, this is one of the two I covered today in my community. One of them I covered was from Signum Bank. Absolutely huge information. Huge information. If you want to find out more, check out the VIP group alongside. We do everything else in there from buy and sell alerts. Trading has been very profitable so far, even despite the market correction, we're still being very profitable in trading. Educational videos, alpha information, and so much more. 7-day free trial. Check it out down below. Links down below in the description, also on my homepage here as well. But one of the documents I covered today, right, from the INATBA, very interesting as well, because remember the INATBA, they are the very same people, right, who nominated Casper for the most innovative blockchain award solution for 2025. Now, of course, Casper did lose to 1inch, but they were nominated, and that's thanks to the KRI as well, by the way. Now, in summary of this document here, because it's about a 40-page document, I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing ins and outs. If you want to read the whole thing, again, the link to it is available in my VIP group, which is, again, links to that is down below in the description. So you can actually join for free 7 days and check out the document for yourself. And then if you think it's worth your while signing up, then by all means go do so. But it's effectively this INATBA research paper, which is from 2025 February, by the way. So it's 5 months old. Sorry, 3 months old. Very recent. Talking about DeFi self-regulations, a proposal for the industry. This paper goes to explain how DeFi continues to be a new and ever-changing concept that still needs to be understood well before it is regulated. And right now, regulations are still coming through. It's still massively misunderstood. Ultimately highlighting once more that DeFi is shaking up this space and the financial world, crypto, by shifting financial operations from traditional centralized institutions to automated, open and transparent systems. Instead of being controlled by a single entity, like these banks, like the leaders of the world, like these proof of stakes projects, they are governed by a community of stakeholders. That's effectively what we are on Casper. We are a community of stakeholders who hold Casper. That's how we are deemed as. We aren't a single entity, we are a community of people who hold Casper. And we can influence the system's evolution through established rules. So the INATBA effectively talk about this innovative approach which democratizes finance, allowing anybody to participate in its development and access financial services without restrictions. And their members believe that DeFi protocols should be self-controlled and fully transparent once they are implemented. Now, they highlight here as well, in this section pretty much here, that TradFi relies on AML, KYC, and AFT, which are perceived as, very, very important elements, of course, allowing these banks to, prevent any illicit activities. That's the whole premise of these rules. Anti-money laundering, KYC, and the AFT element is just not clicking with my head right now. It'll probably come back later. But the whole premise of them is to prevent illicit activities, which is fair enough. But they are so restrictive. And while crypto and DeFi space also aim to uphold these same principles, we don't want to see these hacks happening. We don't want to see them, but they're happening anyways. And current regulations, they aren't evidently well suited to the crypto technology. That's why you're having such a massive strife happening right now with stablecoin regulations, which I'll get to this in a moment as well. So they aren't very suited to these restrictive rules, making compliance challenging and therefore increasing risk. So policymakers, the INATBA are highlighting in this research document that policymakers should carefully consider the necessity of strict, not necessity of having them, but just strict AML, KYC and AFT requirements. Because industry will continue to be stifled and stagnate if there's too much rigid control. That's why EU, despite they've got MiCA and they're currently leading the space, if you will, they are so rigid with their rules that they're going to end up falling behind again. And what I find very interesting about this document, again, very interesting, which I haven't preloaded this page and I don't know why I haven't, but it comes down to the KII once again and their approach to this ridiculously centralized system that we are in right now. The KII have got a lot of projects coming out, one of them being the Gigawatt stablecoin, and they have created Gross, which is a decentralized compliance framework to enable the stablecoin to maintain regulatory compliance across multiple jurisdictions while still sticking true to the principles of Casper, which is decentralization. So you've got the INATBA here in a research paper that, again, I managed to do my in-depth research and find, which is what I provide to my VIPs once more, alongside a lot more in-depth and even more exciting information there. Sort of like the level of capital we expect to see coming into the space in the future, which, by the way, is in the quadrillions. Not joking. Information, again, is down below in the description. You check out the VIP group. You've got INATBA here highlighting the importance of DeFi, how we're seeing the adoption in the space, but the rules are still too rigid. And they are suggesting that policymakers should carefully consider making them less strict, more flexible. And this is where KRI is utilizing Casper to thread the needle between the rigid regulations and the transparent nature of what crypto should be. This is why Casper is going to take over the space. Because they've got institutions who know how to tread carefully and know exactly what they need to do. And that's just talking on that front. It's not even talking about the technology front as well for Casper as well, and how innovative it is in itself. So that in itself is huge, huge news. Very big news. And it's very sad to see that we're seeing more exchange drama, manipulation from MEXC, Coinbase being hacked. So once more, if you're buying your crypto on exchanges, which is fine, of course, that's currently the main place to do it anyways. You kind of have to do it. You can't do it over the counter. You've got to buy on exchanges, right? But on exchanges, you should have a tangible wallet. You really, really should. Or a one key or a ledger, some from a cold storage hardware wallet where it's offline, meaning if there is a hack, like you saw with Bybit back in February, like you saw with Coinbase now, while they may get your info, which still sucks, so that's why you all should be careful what you sign up to, have your money off the exchanges. Have them off. Have your crypto off exchanges, because that is your protection of your investments. I do trade. I've traded on MEXC. I trade on BYDFI. And their trading elements are very, very good. Of course, I've got money on exchanges, therefore, for that. But when I'm holding, when I'm not in trades, when I'm holding, they are in my cold storages. That's where they should be. Protection of your assets. So once more, do your own research, trade at your discretion, and just keep learning more about the space, but have protection of your assets. It's the most important factor right now, because this sort of stuff here is going to always happen. But if you have got your capital in an offline wallet, it is literally impossible to get into it unless you lose your card. And therefore someone's taken your card and then hacked into it by getting your password. But otherwise it's not possible. Offline, even if Tangent was to go through an issue of some form of hack, the actual nature of the Tangent wallet and cards, they are offline. You can't get any of the currency or information out of that. It's not possible. That's the whole premise of a cold storage wallet. That's why they're so important. And with this space due to evolve and explode from here, you should have a cold. The fact of the matter that Coinbase didn't have all this information and transfer it to a cold storage element is ridiculous, by the way. You've got people's very personal and like very personal and incredibly important information available to just be stolen like it has been. Why that's not in a cold storage, which are readily available to protect information, why I haven't got into that, I don't know. So that's what you have there for the number one crypto exchange in the world, technically, in America at least. Technically the world, because it's meant to be the most reliable, and that's what you got from liability. So just be very careful when you're trading. And this for me is why I think decentralization matters so much, what the INATBA talk about here, and that's why I deem Casper as the future, because they are sticking true to being decentralized while also, again, threading the needle between providing what these institutional TradFi members want, which is control and also protection. As they highlighted protection. I think there's definitely elements of protection, but I think it's also more so control. But also giving you, again, as the individual, the control to protect your own self as well. So that is regarding the exchange drama. There's still a lot more to cover in the stream today. We got this information here. I'll get into this right now. This is the other reason why we saw correction in the market right now. So April's PPI inflation actually fell to 2.4%, below the expectation of 2.5%, which is good. Of course, PPI inflation falls to 3.1%, which is in line with the expectations, so that's also not too bad. However, the March PPI inflation was revised higher from 3.3% to 4%, and the core PPI is up to 3.4%. So we're getting a massive element of mixed signals, really, where the PPI is better than expected, but last month it was already revised and went up a lot higher. So that's caused a lot of confusion in the markets right now. So effectively, while we did see a monthly drop, we saw a yearly rise. So we're basically right now we're seeing lower producer prices, which could ease the sentiment of inflation. But the sharp monthly decline, as we've just seen as well, might also signal weak demand, hurting businesses, raising economic slowdown risks, so stagflation. So I think this would have caused a lot of confusion. So we saw a pullback yesterday in anticipation, and then today the news came out very mixed, so it didn't really do much for it. And then you saw the hack from Coinbase, which would have definitely caused the markets to pull back again. And now it's kind of just stagnating again in the kind of the element of, again, uncertainty. Which uncertainty is terrible for markets, very terrible. So this is it's a very weird day today, truth be told, with crypto. So we'll have to determine exactly how we're going to proceed from here. I do suspect we may see corrections down still to maybe 100k, which is around this. I mean, this is where we've seen Bitcoin rebound here, $100,800, give or take. We may see it come between the zone here, and then we see it rebound again to all-time highs. Again, if we're looking in conjunction to the M2 supply suggests right now that we are seeing a bit of a pullback as expected, all in regards to all by design, seeing a pullback, and then after that we'll start seeing it make that move up again, and then go up from there as well. So, but again, it's I'm not remotely concerned. I mean, I'm concerned about that. I'm not happy about that, of course. But I'm not concerned about what this means for the space going forward as well. I still think that the price and the price and equally the trajectory of this market is still looking very, very good. And I think Casper equally is looking very, very good as well. Which I'll get into all of the information regarding the macro developments are very, very good. Stablecoin developments are very, very good, and equally some big Casper updates as well, which is looking forward to talking about this stuff as well. So ultimately, very good stuff all around. Despite capital correction today, I think it's just a small pullback before we see the major comeback. That brings me a smile to my face. I hate that guy. I mean, yeah, Jay Benfield. I don't know too much. I do my utmost as the content creator and, the influencer to not speak ill of anybody. I did reply to a lot of comments that I hadn't replied to yesterday regarding when I make the video recently on Casper regarding the House of Crypto, which I still try to remain very, vague. But I mean, I've had a lot of people telling me the same thing. Paid Schiller, just paid Fudster as well. Which, I mean, my reply fundamentally is just money changes people a lot. And it's very hard to find people who are credible and truthful to their word. And that's not me by any means trying to say that I'm the saint, so only follow me. But I do, for the most part, always have you guys and girls, your interests at heart. Whenever I, take partnerships or think about partnership deals, whenever I am trying to find information, I try to always find things that are going to be beneficial and also not going to hurt people. I don't want to do that. So again, that's just me and my models. And yeah, Jay Banfield, I used to watch him a while back ago when I was first starting out, I guess. And I found a lot of, I found a lot of information very insightful because he does have knowledge. He's not, ignorant, but he's now become very ICP MEXC, flooding Casper, flooding many projects actually. And I understand that element of flooding. I mean, us as Casper MEXC, we flood every project in the space as well. I am a little bit more, I guess, maybe lenient is the right word. I'm a little bit more accepting of other cryptos, despite I understand their flaws. But the thing is, the difference is, while I understand other cryptocurrencies' flaws, I accept those flaws and accept those risks when I'm investing. I don't just say, oh, they're terrible and leave it at that. Like example again, people in this space hate XRP. People in this space, for the most part, don't like SUI or SEI. So I understand the sentiment. I understand exactly why people don't like them. I do. But I understand the risks, or why I understand the reasons, I understand the risks, and I've decided to take the risks. If there are people who hate Casper, again, I understand why, in the sense of they haven't done enough research into it, and it's just kind of, I guess, without the understanding of what Casper actually is, you're going to hate it. Because all you know is the community who are very, cult-like, as we are, and also people hearing it saying it's Bitcoin 2.0. And people are like, well, anytime anyone hears Bitcoin 2.0, they already have a negative sentiment of Casper or crypto in general. They don't like hearing that. Casper is the best chance of that, though, truth be told, and they're going to prove that very soon. So, I mean, yeah, ICP for me, again, just its infinite max supply is just something that I just can never, ever, ever get behind. That, for me, is just screaming, will be a rug pull in the future. I mean, it's already rug, technically speaking. But whereas at $5 right now, it'll go to $0. If I get the ICP on the chart here, actually, because even CoinMarketCap doesn't even want to showcase how much that pullback's been. I'll get it on a trading view. ICP USDT, get it on, sure, I'll get it on Binance, it should be fine. It's not even going to take it from the absolute top though either, so it's not even going to be very accurate. Oh, it's accurate enough. Where does it say on CoinMarketCap? It says what, 400? 428. So let's just get it for 428. Around here, sure. Yeah, 98% down from 98% down from all-time highs from when it first launched. That's ICP. Now, of course, you're looking at it from a more short-term perspective, where you're looking at it literally in the small time frame. Then you know, okay, if it returns back to where it peaked up here in March 24. You're looking at a 3x, 4x almost. So that's not too bad. But I kind of not attest to where ICP is going to go from here at all. AI element might give it some benefits, but again, it's infinite max supply. The problem with our monetary system at the base layer right now is the fact that you can print dollars out of thin air. You can print money, not even just dollars, you can print money out of thin air. It has no backing at all. Every currency in the world effectively is backed by the dollar, and the dollar's backed by petro, so oil is not backed by gold. It could just be printed out of thin air, and that's why you've got a massive debt crisis right now. So anything that has an infinite max supply, you can just print more and more whenever you want. That's a problem at the very base layer, because if ICP was to get widely adopted, human greed would let them just create more tokens out of thin air, making it oversaturated and therefore screwing people over. Casper, I mean, other proof of stakes seem to have a strategy to quote unquote prevent that. You know, look at Sui, for example, which has an actual fixed max supply of 10 billion. But the problem is, because of their proof of stake and because there are these centralized insiders and VCs and whatever it may be, they collectively own over 50% of the total supply of Sui. They therefore collectively, as a centralized company, can decide to just print more tokens if they wanted to. With Casper, because it's decentralized, despite there's also a max supply, it is feasibly impossible to create more tokens out of thin air. So that already, Casper is the only model, the only cryptocurrency in the world, as it stands right now, who has factored in the most important element of money, which is human greed. Human greed is a fundamental, biology of us. Everyone's greedy. Everyone wants to see $5, $6, $10, $8, $20 Casper. We want to see $100 Casper. We want to see, we want to see every go to the moon. We want to be rich. We're greedy. We should be greedy. It's our right as humans. But that also can be a double-edged sword, and therefore the greed can end up screwing people over. Casper is the only model in this space that's taken into account human greed and effectively removed that by being truly decentralized and not allowing the element of therefore creating more tokens out of thin air without completely ruining the nature of Casper and making a complete fork. It's not possible. Because when you're in the fork, as Tony so kindly informed me and helped me learn more, which is why I love the community again, helping me learn while I also hopefully help you learn as well. If you manage to have a group of people who manage to control more than 50% of supply and mining power to then create more tokens to print them out of thin air, more coins, Casper coins, it will result in a fork, and therefore you'd have to try and therefore force the community right now to shift to the new Casper. Which I can say right now, I don't think we would. I don't see why we would. So Casper, that in that regard, is the perfect blend of that. And ICP, again, infinite max supply is a failure from the start. There's very, very few projects in the space that are outright just say terrible. Because I always want to have a positive outlook, and I always do see, again, potential of making money of other elements. ICP, truth be told, you could probably make money of ICP. You probably could. It's like $5. You probably could. How much, I don't know, and I don't really care. I'm holding XRP, I'm holding SUI, I'm holding SEM, I'm holding a lot more, and I think I can make money in those as well this cycle. And I'll take them out, and I'll put them all into Casper as my long-term bet to do very, very well. But ICP, I will accept my opinion, not financial advice. My opinion is any project in this space that has an infinite max supply is doomed from the start. It is doomed from the start. So that's just my 2 cents. And that's a massive tangent once again. Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. David, my man, welcome back. Early this time, let's go. Great to have you back, brother. Just woke up here. What's the news? We're getting into it right now, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying so far. Welcome back, LB, man, on the check-in. Love to have you back, brother. And you too, Buffalo. How many questions have I missed so far? Not that much, actually. I love that. Get some time to actually talk more about content as opposed to just waffling. QC plans to create its own blockchain, and it'll be proof of foot. It'll be how he sells feet pics moving forward. Your trolling is getting more creative, Mr. Miles, I have to say. Shoe NFTs, yeah. It's gonna be, you're gonna get NFTs of different feet pics as well. You have one that has black for goth toenails. You have one that are hairy for more like, gorilla, or what's the Bigfoot? A Bigfoot NFT. You also have just clean shaved. You have, red ones for like Valentine's elements as well. Yeah, that sounds incredible. Welcome back, Wing Bro. Hope you're doing very well. Not yet, of course. We're seeing a bit of negative sentiment following mixed signals from PPI, and equally this hack from Coinbase, which is just once more a testament to why you should not have any of your crypto in exchange. Don't trust exchanges. You're fine. Again, I use exchanges, of course, to buy my crypto, and if I'm trading, of course, it has to be in the exchange to trade it. So that's, you've got to use it in that regard. But if I am holding and just leaving it there stagnant, it's in a cold storage. It should never be in there. The most active I have my holdings is I have some Casper in a Casper wallet, which is because I do plan to eventually start diversifying and getting some more KRC20s. But otherwise, then it's all in a tangent. Interesting. I was looking at CoinGecko, not CMC, for Casper rankings. Yeah, I don't use CoinGecko very much. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that platform at all, actually. Nothing wrong with it at all. But I use CMC just because it's just the more, I guess, globally accepted one, I guess. But I mean, either way, yeah, I mean, either way, Casper is still above ICP, so the point still stands, right? ETH has an infinite supply. Let's have a look at ETH. I mean, you're most likely right anyways. Yep, there you go. Failed from the start. When it's a proof of work, fine. When it's not a proof of work, infinite max supply, it's a failure from the start. Ethereum's doing very well, you know, up to 2.5k. And it's going to do well this cycle, of course, no doubt. No doubt. But its longevity, its days are numbered. It's not quick. It went to proof of stake to be more scalable, and that's failed. It's not decentralization. I think the security is still okay, but infinite max supply is just destined to fail. So yeah, ETH is one again. Yeah, it'll do well, but it's not the future. And equally, I did mention, actually I did cover another one of my institutional documents from Stanford University, which highlighted about the fact that Bitcoin is just not sustainable enough. It's too energy intensive. Ethereum's come out as the alternative, but equally, you know, they're saying this is unsure right now if anything new is going to come on that, or, you know, potentially surpass both of those two. And I'd say it has come out now, and it's proving itself now being Casper, but crypto is still such a small niche of asset class, so it's still a lot of misunderstanding in this space, but that's going to hopefully be come less so in the future as well. Sexes are dodgy AF, get off them 100%. Unless you're trading, again, if you're trading, you have to have it on a SEX or DEX, whatever it may be. You have to have it on a platform to trade it. But otherwise, yeah, you got to be very, very careful. MEXC are some dirty people. I mean, yeah, they have been doing a lot of illicit things right now. Indeed, a lot of illicit things right now. Screw Coinbase. I mean, yeah, again, it's not their fault for getting hacked, but A, why they haven't got this information in cold storage is just crazy to me, and B, this is also the fundamental issue and problem with, you know, while they are compliant with regulations, being, you know, having the AML elements and KYC elements and all that sort of stuff as well, to make sure that, you know, they can track people enough to where they can determine if they are doing anything illicit or not, which is great for the, you know, traditional system. It does not work for crypto, or at least it should not work for crypto. That system is already broken. That system already has illicit things going on in it. Despite what's happening already, the cash system, the fiat system, has already got so much corruption in it. So bringing the same rules over to crypto to protect people, quote unquote, evidently doesn't work. Now, of course, there is a necessity for it. You've got to find a way to do it that is in conjunction with the centralization, because there are certain ways to be secure. Casper is very, very secure, and it's going to get more secure with the increasing hash rate, which will make it stronger as well. Meaning these sort of things would not happen, or much less likely to happen, because you've got miners actively participating in the ecosystem, the network, to mine Casper transactions, which is fantastic, but also adding to security as well. That's the benefit of proof of work. You add to security. And yeah, this stuff is ridiculous. I just don't. Coinbase is terrible for that. And yeah, also true, Coinbase will also freeze and stop you moving coins at certain times. I've had it happen quite a lot, especially not allowing to move Casper at KRC20 launch. Oh yeah, that's MEXC in that regard. Yeah, MEXC also do that as well. But I have seen a lot of proof as well with Coinbase where, you know, more so with the big, if you've got small capital, they're not normally fussed. But if you're a whale, or even just got a fair amount of capital, and you're trying to shift to all of the exchange, I think you have over even just $2,000 sometimes, I think. Over 2K, you're trying to move all off at one point, they flag your account. They don't like you taking money off the exchange. So, you know, that's again the risk of these exchanges. There's also a risk in buying anything off an exchange, which is why you've got to be very careful. It's an element of trust you've got to give, but that's also why I'm very much looking forward to when Casper builds out their own ecosystem and DEX, so then I can just get it all on Casper, which will be a lot more trustworthy in my belief. Of course, there'll still be people trying to take advantage of that, so still be careful and do your own research, but hopefully it'll be safer than anywhere else. Anyway, before I get to more of the questions right now, and I see a lot more still, I'll get to that in a moment. Let's get into more of the announcement real quick. So we've got this post here from Casper Media once again. Ori Newman Casper developer here, an interview with Casper Corman, Ori Newman here, 6-minute here. I'm not going to, again, bore you with everything stated here, but in summary of this is Ori Newman here, who has, been very in-depth, very involved in crypto since 2013. He's got a background in computer science and math, and he is a core Casper contributor. And he ultimately highlights, his work has consistently reflected the commitment to scalability, security, and decentralization, which again is the principles of Casper effectively. And his proficiency in Rust led him to DAG Labs, where he developed expertise in DAG-based architectures and which is now central to Casper design. So, again, it's a very, nice in-depth analysis here. Ultimately, Newman transitioned from a full stack to crypto development in around 2017-2018, seeking more technical challenges due to his interest in Bitcoin. And he favored Rust for its safety and performance in building scalable crypto systems. And he basically wanted to try and help develop software that had a more flexible approach. He was ultimately just very much excited for what Casper was trying to build there for. And equally, he's very excited for the advancements of ZK proofs, because they have potential to enhance crypto scalability, which is why Casper therefore is going to do very, very well. So ultimately, Newman here highlights again Casper's strength as a scaling proof of work, and he considers regulatory bans as the biggest threat to crypto, and emphasizes on the importance, like INATBA highlight here, of decentralization. So there is definitely an element and risk of regulatory bans and regulatory oversight and too strict regulations. Lack of regulations is a problem. Too strict regulations are arguably a bigger one. The space is not the same. That's why there's been a massive debacle here trying to sort this whole bill right now. So Newman, of course, is very bullish on Casper, and he's going to get even more involved, releasing Casper content as he plans to create a future based around Casper as well. He's excited for, Crescendo and its potential for be used every day for Casper, the introduction of smart contracts and stablecoins, Dagnite, and its dynamic scaling of confirmation time. So, once more, an absolute titan in the crypto space who's been around for 12 years, a baker's dozen. He's been around for a long time, and he is very excited for Casper. What I am seeing right now, more and more, is those who have the in-depth knowledge of crypto, who actually understand this space. The developers, not the KOLs so much, because the big KOLs don't acknowledge Casper. The actual developers who do know about this technology, a lot of them are starting to acknowledge Casper, or they have been acknowledging Casper. The in-depth researchers. Again, think about your KRI involved. You've got people like Roy Newman. You've got people like Dr. Martin Heisberg, who's the head of research for Uphold. You've got Nicholas Sismal, who used to be the head of listing for Binance US. All these sort of leading figures in their respective fields, who are researchers and head of their positions effectively, who have acknowledged Casper for what they are building. Marathon Digital Holdings, while they are seemingly bearish on Casper, that's a front, because they are still mining Casper. Then updated Crescendo hard fork, just not holding a lot of it, but they are still bullish on Casper, and they even highlighted about Casper's potential and its very interesting elements of being a scaling proof of work. Its quick speed, its block DAG Weber block architecture. They acknowledge that. They know of Casper. So that's once more where when I see big content creators who are flooding Casper, I don't take much notice of it. That's ultimately why I don't actually if it's people. I have a certain list of people that I do tend to consistently watch for Casper, and that is part of a problem for me. It's a bit of ignorance from my side, I think, because there might be people who are big who are even small YouTubers and new, who have a lot of in-depth analysis of Casper, and it could be very beneficial, stuff that I may even miss myself. But right now, with people who are still making content on Casper right now, are the ones who I think are convicted and know what's coming, and there are a select few who are consistently always making content on Casper. And those are the ones I think who are going to hopefully shine through forward as well, going forward. But a lot of the big KOLs who either avoid Casper, don't talk about Casper, or even FUD Casper, you know, what is their technology background? I can actively say right now, my knowledge and background in development and, you know, computer science and that sort of stuff is very lackluster. So I am, in that regard, very neutral. That's why I've got my community here I have people in my community who do have that background in research, who work in IT, who know this stuff a bit more than I do. And therefore, while I'm saying my thoughts, they can help correct me or even share their thoughts as well. And we learn together. That's why a powerful community is very, very important. So that's why, again, I don't watch much of the big KOLs when they're talking about Casper, because I do think it's sometimes just very, it's their job. As a KOL YouTuber, they're using Casper to get clicks. They know people are gonna, if you see a big YouTuber talking about Casper, you're gonna be very happy about it, more often than not, unless they're fudding it, of course. But of course, as Newman highlights here, and equally INATBA highlights here, regulations are important, but too strict can be a problem. So speaking of which, INATBA here has a scoop. The text on the potential bipartisan amendment to the Genius Stablecoin Act has been circulated around the Senate, and she's been told it includes new changes on consumer protection, bankruptcy, and ethics, according to two Senate sources familiar with the matter. So you can see a little sneak peek of it here. Big tech language of page 2 of the Genius Act here. Prohibits on FDIC insurance misrepresentation. Prohibits the use of the terms related to the US in the name of stablecoins. So issuers cannot use naming terms that include terms like US or US government or USG. So again, that is, I think, a very good thing. So it also means that those who are trying to take advantage of the space, you know, might see a bad actor create a, you know, US stablecoin in a sense of, you know, creating something that's meant to be under the United States name effectively. It prevents that happening. If it happens, therefore, you'll be liable. So that is good to see in that regard. Then banking and commerce, protecting financial security, limitations on big tech issuers. So it prohibits non-financial publicly traded companies from issuing a stablecoin unless they can meet strict criteria regarding financial risk, consumer data privacy, and fair business practices. This helps prevent companies like Meta, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft from issuing a stablecoin and maintains the separation between banks and commerce. The final text still been pending, but I actually think that's a very good change, because this space right now is definitely one to dominate stablecoins. We've been seeing it for months now. I covered a document back in August when I first started streaming from Harvard, the biggest Ivy League, where they stated there and then there's currently a race to dominate the stablecoin market. If you've got companies like Meta, Amazon, Google, or Microsoft making a stablecoin, they're going to get more adoption because, again, they're the biggest companies in the world. But again, that's not their field. They're not payments companies. So it should be going to the payment companies or the crypto companies that should be making stablecoins. So Casper, when they develop their own native stablecoin eventually, I imagine. So I think that's actually a good change. And it also, therefore, hopefully prevents certain entities who are in a higher political power position, if you will, from creating their own stablecoin without meeting certain criteria, which also prevents them from just, you know, taking advantage of the system, the newly built system, that they've been taking advantage of the current system already. So that is good to see. We'll see how it goes from here. The massive hope is that this bill will be passed when it comes to the floor, because if not, then we do have a problem. That will cause a lot of FUD and probably quite a big pullback, because then they'll have to revise this whole bill from the ground up. So it's a very good thing to see this bill now being amended a little bit, and will come into the floor hopefully very soon. Again, the speculated date from Senate Republicans is hopefully before Memorial Day, which is in 9 days' time, I think, give or take. So hopefully we'll see it next week. If not, hopefully early June. And once that comes through, that'll be, I think, a very, very reassuring and big catalyst, following the OCC already greenlighting banks, following Trump now deterring a lot of the tariff FUD and trade wars, with now having a deal with China, and equally forming deals with Saudi Arabia and Qatar, $1 trillion trade deals, high $1 billion trade deals. So it's looking good in that regard. And we can see even here in regards to the stablecoin here as well, MasterCard to roll out new stablecoin cards in latest crypto push with MoonPay. MoonPay has tapped MasterCard to launch global stablecoins, card services, expanding the card giant's crypto push amid competition with Visa. So ultimately, MasterCard and MoonPay will establish enable stablecoin payments across 150 million merchants. The deal follows MasterCard's recent partnership with OKX, Nuvi, and Circle. And Visa is also piloting stablecoin services in 6 Latin American companies. So we're seeing again the competition and that race to dominate stablecoins coming up more and more, which is expected again because remember, stablecoins in 2024, early adoption surpassed that of Visa and MasterCard combined in volume. So now, of course, these two payment giants now want to adopt stablecoins so they can still remain relevant in this space. Of course, there's still regulatory clarity that is still unknown. They're still waiting for those pretty much, but things are on the up right now, which is looking really, really good. So Visa trying to roll it out in Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, Peru, and Chile, and later expand into elements of Europe, Asia, and Africa as well. MasterCard projects also one-up the relative initiative form its competitor Visa, which on May 1st announced a pilot program. So yeah, MasterCard's trying to get ahead of Visa right now. Going back and forth, I'm sure, but in a very loose connection as well. Remember, Visa are partnered with Tangem Pay. So maybe you'll see Visa running on Casper rails in the future because Tangem technically did indirectly confirm that Tangem will be running on Casper rails. So therefore Visa will be running on Casper rails. So we'll have to see how that goes in the future as well. But that is, again, good stuff to see. The adoption coming through, clarity coming through as well. The negative sentiment, of course, a bit of a light change to this whole ridiculousness, and once more we need clarity. Regulations are important, don't doubt, but you know, like AML elements, like I do sometimes try and look for exchanges that have no KYC, which is actually very tough in the UK because UK are one of the most strict and rigid with regulatory compliance, if you will. So if you have no KYC, you normally aren't allowed in the UK, which is a shame. But again, this is what KYC does to you. You get hacked into, they have all my information now. Like, why that? Why? Just why? You know, I haven't got more. That's why. Just why? And we've got some more sources here as well to cover. We've got some other very interesting things as well we'll get into. But beforehand, again, I'll get some more questions right now. But again, the market corrections right now, I'm not looking too bad on it. We saw Casper did come down to 11.1, or even just around 11.1 cents earlier. We might see it come back further. Again, we could see it come down to 10 cents, but I still think that Casper's still in that next move up, with also stablecoins looming as well in the next month or two. State of Wisconsin Investment Board exits Bitcoin ETF position. Yeah, I mean, I've only just heard of that now from you, and I mean, is what it is, right? I'm still not worried. Yeah, shut up. He said Nadhar and Adonis are my resident trolls, alongside Mr. Miles, but he does it only to me in public. He doesn't do it so much in private. Or just, like, Nadhar and Adonis just love, you know, being very bearish in the community, which is, you know, I find it quite a laugh. Erica, thank you very much for the $4.99 donation. Happy belated birthday. I'm so sorry I missed your special day, but I hope it was amazing as you are. Let's go, Casper, to $5. Thank you very much for your generosity, Erica. Thank you very much for the belated wishes as well. And yeah, my birthday was very, very good yesterday, actually. I had a great time with my family and equally a great time on stream with everybody here as well. So thank you very much for your generosity once again. And yeah, Casper to $5, hopefully in the near future. Let's pray. Why I only have Casper? Yes, Tangem. Yeah, I mean, Casper for me, again, I see the value in holding other assets, but Casper is fundamentally the strongest. I'd like to believe fundamentally the strongest. What's up, Q818, my man? Welcome back. Hello, QC. Do you know any exchanges that can trade Casper without KYC? Funny you mentioned that. I'm trying to think, are there actually? Oops, so I just banged my mic. I'm just quickly trying to remember. I know there are exchanges that have no KYC. I think CoinEx allows without KYC. I know I think MEXC. If you use MEXC without large transactions, I think that's also no KYC. But again, MEXC just don't go on MEXC right now. Not of Casper. Again, I use MEXC. I think MEXC is okay, but I do not touch MEXC. I think MEXC and Casper are like oil and water. MEXC, I don't mind. I don't mind MEXC, but I think MEXC with Casper is oil and water, so I don't use MEXC for Casper. CoinEx, I've heard, are decent, but I think CoinEx actually, if I'm not mistaken, CoinEx was the exchange that actually got liquidated when they tried to short Casper really badly. So I don't know if they actually have allowed perp trading yet again. Yeah, they are the ones. So I think, yeah, CoinEx actually disabled perp trading, futures trading, because they tried to short Casper too badly and went down to half a cent. Those are the only ones I think of right now. I don't think there's enough exchanges right now. There are some good exchanges out there that are no KYC, like one of the exchanges that I actually recently partnered with, which I'm making a video about later on as well, a tutorial if you will, called BYDFI, which is, I've used them and I think they're actually very, very good. And no KYC. They're also trusted. They aren't really available in the UK, but they've got regulatory compliance in Canada, Australia, Ethiopia, America. So I think BYDFI, no KYC is also quite a good platform, but I don't think they offer Casper, unfortunately. Hopefully that'll change soon though. Have you seen the flag Casper made for our chart? Do you think we'll break up or down from it? Let's have a look at the 4-hour chart, shall we? Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, I see. Oh wait, I'm looking at that one. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, yeah. Right, yeah. So we look at that right now. We're looking at it like this. Like that. I mean, it's a good question if we break out of that or not. I think right now we are in a headline driven and macro market. So I think Casper right now, after going through its very, very nice momentum earlier from the beginning of April and even having its own little pumps like more recently as well, I think right now it's just blending into the market. It'll go through its own breakout very soon. I think we're going to probably see it come down a little bit more, and then we'll see it most likely break above. I don't think Casper, again, right now we can see consistently we're forming higher highs and higher lows. Go back to the daily chart here. From higher highs and higher lows, which is great to see for Casper. Low, high, higher low, higher high. So I think therefore we should not see Casper therefore come below, worst case, 9 cents in a pullback. Probably see it come back down. I would like to say maybe 10 cents, 10.5 cents, something like that. And then we'll see Casper make a rebound. That's again worse. Like again, that's doing a very rushed look at the chart. I've not looked at it in too much depth just right there. But I think we'll see a pullback, but we'll see Casper ultimately go on its continuous bullish rally going up. First, you hack Bybit, then Coinbase. How much more until you thirst for chaos is quenched? How much suffering's enough to extinguish the desire you see to see the world burn? Are you trying to say that I'm hacking them? I'm trying to think. Are you trying to just make it seem like I'm the bad guy again? Because I wouldn't put it past you. But I mean, yeah, hacking's going to always take place, especially when there's going to be a whole quantum element as well that we'll get into in the future as well. But I mean, yeah, just keep your money off exchanges. If you're going to trade, sure. If you're going to actually hold, then have it in a cold storage. What's up, Stack? My man, welcome back. Just got in, and I'm not sure if you covered what this was in Discord. For Nacho, I heard from one of the developers that potential tier 1 listing begins next week, first of 3 exchanges. You said for Nacho. I have not heard anything regarding Nacho. But I'm fair, I'm not in their Discord, which I should be, so I will go in that Discord and see if I can find it myself. But if that's the case, that's very, very big, and that also could potentially be an indicator, therefore, that tier 1s are gearing up for Casper, because I would be very surprised if a meme, despite it being Nacho, if that got listed before Casper did. So, I mean, we've been speculating a tier 1's coming for a while. Until we see the announcement, though, I'm not going to get my hopes up, because, again, we're at the mercy of the exchanges right now. But I'm sure we'll see one very, very soon. And when that happens, Casper will rip. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, Casper goes above here, above the wallet to average buy, and then they're going to issue a listing. Who knows? But potential tier 1 in 3 weeks or soon for Casper does sound very reassuring though. XRP 2589. Yeah, the whole 589 thing is actually very, very funny. I'm not sure if anyone knows the theory behind it. I've looked into it a lot of depth actually. 589 is actually meant to be Ripple's CEO Brad Garninghouse. He has, for reasons as people speculate, always had 589 followers. And when I looked through the theory of it, apparently the reason that people were talking about it because if you look through like the index of like how of the fiat currency numbers, you got like Singapore's, they got a money ID, if you will, and ultimately their theory was that all these fiat currencies and other assets they have this money ID, but there's one that hasn't been taken up yet, which is 589, or there's quite a few that haven't been taken up, but one of them being 589, and therefore they're saying that XRP is going to become a currency. Again, this is a whole rabbit hole, right? Whole rabbit hole. First crypto exchanges, next the polar ice caps, then the world government. We must stop QC. Oh yeah, so you are saying it's me. Cool. Complete clown. Enslaying count posse to $0. Oh yeah, ICP. I mean, yeah, possibly. I'd imagine so. This pattern is bullish. It's cool. Yeah, it's also, you could see it as a flag, but you also could see it as a cup and handle, which Greg highlighted to us in our community earlier as well. The cup here, handle, breakout. So that could be the factor of that as well. Or you could take it more so like that as well. And it's doing that little downtrend now going up. So yeah, cup and handle. I think we're still in a bullish uptrend though. ICP is trash. It's always been trash. It's always going to be trash. I agree. Hello Jay. What's up DD Mo? You're doing very, very well. Casper doesn't pump yet. I don't care. It allows me to accumulate more, especially if my other investments pump first. I agree. Completely agree. Who knows how to wait? Everything comes at the right time for Casper. You'd have to be a part of it. Also agree. It's just a matter of time. Inevitable. Wow, missed a lot of questions. Love that. Welcome back, Ghosty. Yes, my man, and you to stack. Good looking out, DD. Yes, exactly. Casper is a true gem. I rotated my Toshi profit into Casper. Good man. Casper will gain traction to the failure of others. That's also very true. Writing is on the wall. Exchange manipulation, malware mining, KRI planning, and waiting for smart contracts. Some Belinsky might be Satoshi. Shalema solved. You're gonna be crazy not to diamond hand this. I agree. I completely agree. I keep an eye on virtual protocols and these AI agents. If virtuals pump a little, some agents pump more. Yeah, I mean, that's also something that we have highlighted in my community, my VIP group, and we're still trying to be on the scout to find more. We did look at one not too long ago that did do very, very well as an AI native asset, or AI agent even. But yeah, AI agents, I think they're still going to be a very good opportunity when they start rallying again. It seems like they're starting to gain momentum again right now, which is interesting. Not Coinbase's fault for getting hacked, bro. Their baldy CEO has all support staff from third world countries. I mean, when I say it's not Coinbase's fault, I mean it in the sense of like, I mean it is, they can upgrade the security system. I mean it in the sense of, hacks happen, it's an inevitable consequence. Of course, there are precautions you can take to prevent them happening, but someone's going to find a new innovative way to hack into a system. That's why, for example, if you hack into a governmental system, more often than not, you're actually hired, as opposed to, I say that based on no facts, by the way. I base it on stories I've heard. But from what I've seen, you're probably more likely to be hired if you can't hack into something big as opposed to being prosecuted, because again, if you know how to get into it, you know how to upgrade it as well. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, their system was not strong enough, they got hacked into, and information like that just shouldn't be readily available to people. It shouldn't be. Why? Your whole premise of KYC, AML, AFT, that sort of stuff is to prevent illicit activities. So you can find out who's doing anything wrong with crypto. But you'll also therefore let everyone be viable to people who are doing illicit things, who get all your data. And then they can, they could claim your identity and do it with your identity, and therefore you're screwed. Therefore you're getting penalized for something you have not even done. So what's the point of it? What's up, Quarter Crawler, man? Hope you're doing very well, man. Welcome back to the channel. Could you please, is it safe to hold Casper on Bybit? Fundamentally speaking, I would not hold crypto or Casper on any exchange. So I would not hold it on any exchange, personally. Out of the exchanges out there, Bybit's not the worst. It's one of the bigger ones, more trustworthy ones, I guess. Bybit did get hacked a while back. But that's, again, the fundamental issue of exchanges. They can always get hacked because they're, you know, it's just a liable issue. So I would just always have a cold wallet, personally. Welcome back, Crypt Tony Bro. You're doing very, very well. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, my man. Yeah, that was yesterday. But yeah, I mean, it was a good day. So thank you very much, brother. Remember when Tony bought everyone a membership except me? Yeah, that is going to be, there'll be a reckoning. Honestly, yeah, it's still, I go to bed smiling at night. I cannot lie. The last 3 days, when I've just, you know, been doing work and I get really tired, I'm going to bed, I'm like, oh yeah, forget Tony did that. And it actually makes me, I'm not even joking, it makes me smile. I'm a tier 1 Mr. Miles hater now, and I love it. But that's deserved, by the way, because he's been saying that I've been keeping him in my basement for months now. So I've got to get my get back now. So thank you very much, Tony, for that. Yeah, cold wallet, definitely cold wallet. Where the membership happened, I think 2 or 3 streams back, actually. Tony generously donated 10 memberships to the channel, and it went to a lot of the OGs. I thank all the OGs, and there are of course more OGs than there were memberships given out, but a lot of people I think who have literally from day one got one, besides Mr. Miles, which I found really funny. And don't listen to DD. Don't listen to DD. I mean, they'll be safe in his wallet, no doubt, but yeah, don't send them to him. ETH used to have max supply of 125 million pre-proof of stake, and then yeah. And they screwed it. ETH was just terrible. Did they not? I thought they did have a max supply. I thought they had. Okay. Well, I don't know who's wrong then. I was mining ETH back in the day, had an infinite supply, was the issue of ETH, introduced the EIP, that burned part of the mining fees. Okay, well maybe, again, I'll choose, I never mined crypto, so I'll trust the miners more so. I thought Ethereum did have max supply. When I looked into it myself, and maybe I was wrong. Casper will never partake in any of the crypto worldwide stablecoin adoption because it is pure. It will lead it. Casper will release stablecoin, native stablecoin, like be able to release native stablecoins, and they will therefore lead it. You'll see other. Casper's whole business model, while being incredibly quick, allows for them to become the native hub for the Bitcoin infrastructure, the Solana infrastructure, the Sui infrastructure, all infrastructure jump on Casper and therefore be quick, therefore reducing the need for these rubbish layer 2 sequences that are just stealing your capital. Casper will become the central hub for crypto and will dominate stablecoins as well. How much Casper to stack for 100k profit? I have no idea. It really does depend on how much you want to hold. I mean, if you're holding, you know, if you're holding theoretically like 10k right now in Casper or something like that, and it goes to, you know, $1.10, you've made 110k. So then you've made your 100k profit. So it's relative on how much you have and also what price you think Casper's going to get to. Mars was supposed to be a deflationary, but it's also Ethereum was supposed to be deflationary, but it didn't work out. Okay. Bitunix is great. No VPN, no KYC. Okay, I haven't used Bitunix either. Coinex, you need to use VPN if you're in the USA. Okay, so forget Coinex then. Either way, Coinex, you know, I don't think they actually do. I'm not sure they still do trade. I don't think they do leverage trading anymore because of the whole liquidation thing. I haven't checked that out though. But Bitunix, yeah, that's also an option which you can use for those. Thank you very much again for that, Erica. I troll QC, not Casper. Now you troll in general, man. Simple swap, you also use simple swap there as well. Okay, simple swap, there you go. I have my standards. It's some skewed standards, man. Okay, we get it. Simple swap. Simple swap. Okay, you can use simple swap therefore. No KYC. There, you simple swap. I trade and do futures with BitTunix, and if you deposit 1,000, they give you 200. Oh, that's quite good. A nice little cashback there. That's nice. I think Tony might have some brain damage, maybe. Margex is no KYC. Okay, there are a few options out there, therefore. Okay, good. So yeah, anyone swaps Casper directly on Tangent? Yeah. YouTube failed to tell me you were alive. Sorry to hear that, Falcon, my man. Yeah, YouTube can be very dodgy at times. I've had people complain about that a lot. I don't know why, because it's not like it should do. What fell down the XRP rabbit hole? I'm happy to say I escaped. Good man, Jason. I mean, I'm also kind of involved in the rabbit hole. I know enough about it, but my care for it is very lackluster. I hold it. That's why I know about the XRP developments. Like, I know how their president, Monica Long, was in UAE yesterday. And I know that Wisdom Tree apparently is called XRP, like the only alternative to the only asset holding worthwhile holding other than Bitcoin. And again, that's relative, that second one. But I just hear that and I'm like, cool, fine. People can say what they want, but I understand that MEXC for XRP in particular, they have a lot of they have a lot of sources that, you know, just seem too good to be true, while also seemingly offering, you know, proving very little. I don't know. It's weird. It's a rabbit hole, no doubt. QC calls me basement thingy when he's not on stream. Sure. You've got no proof, and I don't want you to create proof because you can create things. I think I know you can. Chart looks like an inverted inverted two head and shoulders. It does actually. Inverted two headed shoulders there. It does, but I mean, that's pattern size, right? I mean, Casper is just ultimately very much, I'd say, very much confirmed not to be in a British outbreak now. I like to believe. What's up with bald men hating on Casper? Jerry Banfield, Brian Armstrong, Justin Bonds. Yeah, honestly, maybe that's they lost all their hair, therefore they've lost all their brain cells as well. Who knows? Is it because they envy of Shai's beard and Sompolinski's hairy? Okay, almost said that. Wow. Who knows? Bro, you can silence your phone. Oh, sorry, my man. It's because I left it on my desk. Normally, I remember to throw my phone off my desk so you don't hear the vibrations. But yeah, I left. That's my fault. Sorry, my brother. A lot of sites like CMC would put ETH max supply as its kind of circulating supply. This is likely where you could choose it came from. Okay, that's probably, yeah. I think that's what it is. Yeah. BitUnix. It's not BitTunix. Okay, sorry, BitUnix. Bro, you come at me for pronunciation all the time, man. I guarantee you say aluminum or aluminium. You come at my pronunciation all the time, but I guarantee you say aluminum or aluminium, man. You can't come at me for that sort of stuff. You cannot. Not all the time, man. I make mistakes. You can pronounce I can pronounce however I want to. Free world. Social engineers do not hack the system. They hack human psychology. You can protect the system from naive users. Yeah, exactly. So and Casper has factored that in. You know, that's why Casper's system has factored in human psychology. Therefore, you can protect them from, you know, those who can hack into it because they prevented that. Oh, my thing crashed. Almost crashed again. It's going to crash again. Yeah, I love when my chat keeps crashing every stream now. For me, it's very bad seeing people on X want to pay listing for Binance. I mean, I think it's probably just, I mean, I agree. I understand why people want to do it. Yeah, it's crashed. I knew it was going to happen. I understand why people want to do it, but I do agree. I think it's just like, just leave it. It'll happen when it happens. Don't pay for it. Just don't give them the satisfaction. Like, they'll do it when they're ready. We don't need them. They'll come when they're ready, and they will come. They're already holding a lot of Casper. We have no confirmation of that, but it's, you know, highly likely they're holding a lot of Casper. Oh my gosh, my computer is actually having a field day right now. Yeah, no, sorry, I know you meant cannot protect. This is for Nigeria. Yeah, I know. This is the complete opposite of the spirit of Casper. True. I love correcting the Englishman pronunciation. It gives me a lot of pleasure. Well, I can correct yours as well, man. What's your opinion on crypto mindset? Don't really have one. I've watched a few of his videos. I just my opinion on YouTubers that do solely TA, there are very, very few that I like and trust. The only one that I trust solely with TA is, well, C Crypto, who is in my VIP group, and equally Plan K. TA is fine, nothing wrong with TA, but Plan K, his TA is extremely in depth to where I'm like, okay, cool. There's logic behind it, and there's more. But most, like, as I mentioned time and time again, TA can only get you so far. You make it do very, very well, and of course it's necessary to help you judge certain zones and whatnot. But fundamentals to me are a lot more important. And from my understanding, from what I've watched of Crypto Mindset's videos, which again, I've not watched him too much, so I can't say too much. But I think it only does TA, and I think fundamentals are fundamentally more important for crypto than it is just TA. Saying that, he did call Casper coming down to like 5 cents, so I guess he was right there. Those guys who just traders are not really investors from watching them. That's also another mindset, I guess. You really need $1 Casper to buy a new setup? Honestly, I do. 50 cents to buy a new desktop setup? Yeah. Also 50 cents. I mean, yeah, just Casper going up, buy a new one. I feel like XRP is way too hyped. Everyone is just buying it because people say so. They don't even know what they're invested in anymore, just because it's hype people buying. I mean, it's a number 3 crypto asset. So, or number 2 right now behind Tether, but it's, flipping Tether constantly right now, so not surprising. And I mean, yeah, it's because all you have to do to want to buy XRP is go on Twitter, you type in XRP, and you see the countless amount of influencers who are posting, oh, look at Goldman Sachs talking about XRP, look at Bank of America in partnership with XRP, look at JP Morgan with XRP, look at the Swift partnership with XRP, like all these connections, indirect or direct connections. And while some of them are justified, some of them are also blown out of proportion. Like the JP Morgan partnership, that's not there. It's not concretely there. There's loose connections, but it's not concretely there. Bank of America, that is there. That, well, at least that's been confirmed from Ripple, they're partnered together. But Bank of America expressed nothing about that, which, I mean, that might be NDAs again. But, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of hype. They do have a use case. They've got the RUSD that has actually been quoted in the recent US Treasury report alongside Tether, Circle, and PayPal's stablecoin. But, I mean, it is a lot of hype. I don't know why, but I know I will one day wake up and see Casper at all-time highs overnight. I mean, I don't think we're going to see necessarily like that. You might see us trading around here for a bit, and then you'll wake up and just do that. But I do agree. Yeah, I mean, Casper's going to just explode, sure. ETH's using for what and can be replaced by Casper better? Yes. I mean, yeah. Ethereum can be replaced by Casper. It'll take a while, but it will happen. Ethereum's going to fall off. USDT or USDC? USDT, I mean, Mr. Moss said it here perfectly as well. USDT is more widely accepted, but USDC is more regulated and likely better backed. So, yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I think USDT would be better for early adoption, but for more trust, USDC. But Casper's getting both in the future anyways. Now, we do have some more sources, but I'm going to only cover this one and say the other ones for the next stream, because I am actually running late for some other stuff I have to do today. But that being said, we've got this stuff here I'll get into tomorrow, which is important to see. But we've got this post here from CoinPal. They mentioned yesterday they mentioned recently even about IGV.com, who are basically allowing the possibility for you to buy gift cards with crypto like Casper, and Casper confidently was the highest used over Tether, over Bitcoin, over Circle, over Ethereum, and over BNB. Confidently, by a large margin. That's incredible, surpassing yet Yet that's incredible, surprising, yet somehow expected. Casper usage is going real world fast. That's fantastic stuff here. Screw you, Mr. Miles. That's very, very good to see once more Casper being used, and that's what we've got to the future for Casper looking very, very bright as well. Can stablecoins crash? Yes, they can if they lose their pegging. Can we check Google history? No. No. Because that is filled with private information. And that's not dirty stuff. For Mr. Master, anything it's not dirty stuff. Don't use this there top of that. But no, private information. That being said, you guys are funny. If you enjoyed the stream, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Things are looking a bit bleak today, but ultimately things are looking good overall for the space. If you want to find out more institutional documents and alpha information and trading information as well, getting more involved, making money in the space, you know the deal. Check out the VIP group. You provide a lot more information here as well. A lot of massive documents there as well. Check it out, link below in the description and homepage as well. If you enjoyed the stream, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Have a great day, good evening, and good night. Just whatever. I'm just so over it. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, people, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.